With Doug Ford plowing ahead with plans for the pay-to-play Therme megaspa at Ontario Place, I joined Norm Di Pasquale from Ontario Place for All and former city planner Ken Greenberg to see what the Ford government plans to pave over.
So I remember the outrage at Queen's Park the day that it became public knowledge that the Ford government had just blocked off parts of Ontario Place. What was the reaction from the community?
People were livid. Like fury would be the best way to describe it. Like this was people's sort of pandemic walk, pandemic cycle. The public deserves access to this public space.
Okay, we understand what you're against. What are you for? What would you do? We now have the Ontario line, which goes from the aptly named Ontario Place to the Ontario Science Centre. The keystone of sustainability is to use what you already have. So if you apply that lens of conserving, here's what you get. The Science Centre is a structure that was designed for a 250-year lifespan. Obviously, after all these decades of neglect, it needs to be upgraded and make the Science Centre in an updated version even more attuned to climate change. At this end, we love the idea of moving a branch of the Science Centre. And that satellite would deal with the Great Lakes.
I say you could do like aquatics and things like that.
All the science around how we preserve
That's a
and
fantastic
enhance
idea.
this great natural feature, making that available to kids in the city.
So it's infuriating. We have this beautifully designed space, great access to nature for the public on the waterfront. Could be revitalized in a way that Ken described that's pretty inspiring. And the government wants to throw it all away. 95-year lease for a private spa and spending hundreds of millions of dollars of our tax dollars to build them a parking lot.
It just kind of continues sort of Ford's mantra of there's nothing worth saving, right? He says, oh, well, the Science Centre that was built with concrete meant to last 250 years is not worth saving. It's beautifully nestled in a ravine, but it's not worth saving. And Ontario Place is not worth saving. And the Greenbelt is a bunch of weeds and not worth saving. He just doesn't, the Premier doesn't know what he has here in Ontario.
So basically, we're going to pay the price for it. Our kids are going to pay the price for it. Their kids are going to pay the price for it. Their kids are going to pay the price for it. We're literally talking about a decision that's going to affect generations. And once you pave it over, once you cut it down, it's gone forever.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we don't want this to be known as the next mistake by the lake. You know, by generation after generation wondering what we were thinking, turning this paradise into like a last mega spa, mega casino, mega whatever it becomes in the future.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I think we owe it to our kids, grandkids, their kids and grandkids to make sure these public lands remain in public hands. And Norm, I want to thank you and everybody on Ontario Place for All for the great work you're doing, standing up to protect public space and the places we love.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And we're fighting, just like we're fighting climate change, we're fighting for our future generations' public space and ability to live and breathe in a healthy environment.
Get involved by signing our letter to Federal Minister of the Environment, Stephen Guilbeault, requesting a federal impact assessment of Ontario Place to protect the endangered species that live on the West Island.